Hello everyone. I hope all of you can hear me. Uh, Welcome to QuantInsti's YouTube channel, and those of you who regularly attend our webinars may remember one of our recent algo trading project webinar, which was on machine learning in sentiment analysis and portfolio allocation. So we invited two of our esteemed EPAT alumni, Carlos Peral and Vivin Thomas, for presenting their project work. And unfortunately, the first presentation was interrupted by a hardware failure, hence we could not cover it in much detail. Uh, but luckily for us, Carlos was keen enough to take out some extra hours to record his presentation separately and share with us. So here today, without any further delay, let's go ahead and see that presentation and let's begin. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. For today's presentation, I'm going to show my final project for the QuantInsti and the EPAT program that I completed last March. Yeah, I will start by presenting myself. Okay, my name is Carlos Martin. I've completed my bachelor degree in computer engineering. I've been working for more than 10 years for several clients, mainly located or in Spain and Belgium as well. My main skill is as a .NET developer. Yeah, working the last 5 years for European institutions. So yeah, this is my background. As you can see, is more focused or related to software development. So yeah, the motivation under that behind that project is I'm really interested on machine learning topics, especially in the test analysis part. Yeah, I consider that those techniques have grown in an impressive way in the recent years. We can see lots of machine learning models, a lot of functionalities available. In a large variety of domains, okay, test analysis, speech recognitions, language translation, and of course, sentiment analysis, which is the topic, the main topic for this project. Yeah, the main purpose, okay, is try to find a correlation between the sensitive how prices are sensitive to news, and how we can take advantage of those sentiment scores that we can generate from that sentiment analysis. Yeah, this is, let's say, is not a classical approach where you basically you perform a technical analysis based on quantitative analysis. Okay, here the approach is, let's say, to use a new source of data. That is the qualitative approach instead. Yeah, how that qualitative data can generate, or we can translate that qualitative data into trading signals. So in the next slide, you can see the first site about the solution. Okay, for this solution, I follow an approach where is, I mean, the project or the algorithm is divided into two main parts. Okay, the first one is the text analysis, where we can find the news manager. There is downloaded the news, is performed as well the text processing. Yeah, and of course is implemented the machine learning model for this specific project. I choose a long short-term memory model, okay, in order to generate the sentiment scores. The other part is the trader, okay, and it implements the trading strategy and yeah, calculates the signals. The pipeline that this project follows is basically five main steps. Okay, first of all, it downloads the news. Okay, that process. I mean, those news are retrieved from a web service. I mean, in this case, used a web service called Stock News IP. Okay, those news are downloaded from JSON in JSON format, and then are clean, which is the pre-processing of those news. Then the creation of the LCT model, the news prediction, which is the part where you generate the sentiment scores, and the last steps are the stock prices analysis, and yeah, and its retrieval and the backtesting to see how the strategy performs. Okay, delve into the project. Okay, we can see here the structure in detail. Okay, of the previous parts. Okay, for the text analysis, yeah, as I said before, the news manager contains all of the logic. I mean, related to the news retrieval. Yeah, in this case, I use a case, sorry, a class to connect to the external web services and to retrieve the news in JSON format. Yeah, those classes, okay, I think is important, is worth to mention. I mean, the project will be available if you want to have a look on it. Yeah, those news, as I said, are downloaded and stored in a CSV file. The next step, sub-step, I am going to say, is the sentiment analysis, which contains all of the classes related to the generation of the sentiment scores. In turn, it contains the pre-processing text, which performs the necessary needed operations. I mean, whenever you download the quantitative data, this sub-step is crucial to obtain a good performance. So yeah, this is an operation where the text is clean, yeah, is needed to be ready to feed the model. Okay, then NLP handler, okay, is this part, let's say, contains all of the logic to generate the polarity scores. So we have to take into consideration that most of the times that we download news from a web service, we have to classify, and we have to label, of course, those news. So for this case, I use a really useful library called Analytic Vader, okay, which is a library that assigns binary scores to those downloaded news. Okay, if you download a new, let's say, which is negative, or apparently is negative, for instance, that library is going to, let's say, to assign, to label that to that data as -1, for instance, which is basically I use a binary classification here. Okay, -1 and for negative news and 1 for positive news. So yeah, this is a step which must be performed before training the model. Okay, it's a needed step in order to assign those labels. Yeah, there's the model, which is going to take the previous news and classify data to be trained in order to fit with future data without classification. Yeah, the output, of course, is going to be 1 for positive or -1 for negative. The next main part is the back testing. Okay, yeah, of course we have to perform the needed operations to see if that strategy works or not. Okay, but sometimes, I mean, most of times it doesn't mean that if you obtain a good perform here, you are going to perform well in the future. Okay, but it's just an orientation to see the first, let's say, test to be performed. Yeah. The next this slide, okay, explains how those previous steps works in a coordinated way. So this project, I follow just an approach where those steps follows a sequential way. Okay, more or less it has been previously explained. Okay, as I mentioned. Okay, the first is the download the news, pre-processing, the creation of the LCT model, yeah, news predictions, download the stock prices, and of course generate and validate the trading indicators that we see later. Okay, the results. The project has been tested for a period of time between 1st of March 2018 and 22nd of December of 2020. This point is very important to take into consideration, okay? Because here the value that you set the first scores here, it's going to have a big impact in the back testing, okay? Yeah, so here I consider that those news that NLTK evader considers that are under 0.08, I set it as a negative. Yeah, in other case, they are going to be considered positive. Okay, I'm not going to use, let's say, neutral news, because I consider that the LCT model performs better with binary classification. Yeah, after generate the scores with that NLTK library, then the LCT model, okay, has been trained and compiled by using a sigmoid function, okay, for binary classification. Yeah, there you can see the summary of that compilation. Yeah, the next slide shows the loss and validation accuracy. Okay, not bad, let's say, in general terms. Yeah, yeah, all in all, the as you can see, the generated signals, we consider it as in order to translate to trading signals, I just consider or set -1 to go short, and 1 or shell, sorry, 1 for buy. Yeah, the next slide, okay. Yeah, in this project, I try with 4 stocks, 4 tickers, Apple, Amazon, Twitter, and Facebook, okay. Yeah, what I did is basically to compare the returns of the sentiment score strategy, okay, with buy and hold strategy, okay. The red one is the strategy, is the sentiment, is the strategy based on the sentiment scores, okay. This slide shows the Apple for I mean the returns obtained when trading with Apple stocks. Yeah, it provides as well the annualized SERP ratio and the strategy returns. Okay, in this case, seems to be it better than buy and hold strategy. For Amazon, yeah, we have a period where it performs apparently much better, but yeah, we can see that we can appreciate that that improvement for especially between the mid 2018 and mid 2020. Yeah, here we can consider as well let's say the pandemic effect. Uh, yeah, this is a case where seems not to work very well, as you can see here, especially I mean for Facebook. Yeah, Twitter, yeah, apparently in the beginning not so much, but yeah, in the last 6 months, apparently, well, almost replicate the buy and hold strategy. Yeah, the conclusion that I obtained by completing this project is, yeah, we can set a certain correlation between negative trends and bad news. Apparently, yeah, good performance if you compare to a buy and hold strategy. Yes, future work. I think that my feelings are that I think that that is crucial to get to work with a really good quality data sources. Yeah, and work as well with the refinement in the sentiment polarity. I mean, in the NRTK Vader library, so that the refinement is crucial as well to classify the news and assign the positive or the negative label. So yeah, in general terms, those are my conclusions. I think that a good model could be incorporated somehow in certain strategies. But yeah, in general, I think that more work should be provided in order to claim, or better said, to trust fully on a sentiment on a strategy based on sentiment scores. So yeah, these are my thoughts regarding this. Thanks.
That was an insightful presentation. We would like to thank Carlos again for sparing his valuable time and taking us through his algo trading project work. In case any of you have any questions, please make sure that you ask them in the comments, and we'll try our best to get them addressed. Uh, so that's about it, and you have a wonderful day ahead, and I'll catch you in next webinar. Uh, Till then, take care. Bye bye. Ciao.